Welcome to Pound for Pound Sport Podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Lampley, along with.
Clarence Gray.
Dion Oldman.
And Justin.
So today, Phil, let's talk about the epic game one. Give me your intake on the last seconds of the game when they overturned LeBron James charging foul into a block and ultimately gave the Warriors a second chance at life to seal their game.
I'll go first. I didn't. I mean, I thought that the game was really a good game up until the last couple of minutes of the game. But to go back and look at the call, I understand that under 2 minutes you can go back and review anything. But they went back to review whether he was in the restricted area or not. So to just change a complete call after reviewing that it was blocking or maybe it wasn't blocking, I didn't like that because it dictated the flow of the game. So that kind of gave me a sour taste about LeBron passing the ball to George Hill. That's a 50-50 thing. If George Hill makes the second free throw, then what JR did is not even a discussion. So there's a lot of blame to go around. But ultimately, I did not like the way the game was officiated. And the Cleveland Cavs, they really played a really well game. Now, how they're going to come out and play tonight, if they let, or I'm not going to say let, if they get blown out by the Warriors, then they're going to have a really, really hard time just getting back in the series.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like you said, the Cavs that came out, they showed some pride. I was surprised that they came out and played that well. But like I said, LeBron James needed to start the game off like he did, and the team brought in. If you notice, they knocked down some of those threes. They win their game by double digits. Steph Curry came out aggressive, and that seemed like that's the only Warrior player that came out and played. Now, minus Klay Thompson getting hurt, early off in the game, he had a decent game too. But KD is becoming a problem on their offense. This guy want to settle for threes when he don't have to, and I feel like he's slowing the offense down. Just let the game come to him. He can play. So I think today he's going to come out more aggressive and get into his spots and get some shots early. He can't continue to shoot the ball 8 for 22 and expect for the Warriors to have a good offensive production on the day. With them changing that call, that was big for them. Because if you notice, you can go back to the game, the top referee called the block and the referee on the goal called the charge. So
the one who can see.
So therefore, when I looked at it and seen them go back and put their play on the review, I thought they were just trying to point to each other, why he called the block and why he called the charge. That's what I thought they was going back and look at. But now that they went back and looked at it and changed the whole completely call, I felt like it was a block from the beginning, but they should have just made up their mind on the floor and stuck with what they called.
That's my point. That's my point.
It's in the finals, and you make that call, man. Now you got to make that call throughout the rest of the game and going forward. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be mindful when you make that call. So I expect today for the refs to call the game tight. Expect a lot of soft fouls being called. Expect a lot of lane violation to be called. All that you can think of, expecting to be called in this game. Just to get some, so the refs can handle the game.
And to your point, that'll work in Cleveland's favor because it'll slow the game down.
A whole lot. Yep.
I don't understand how they dictate the game like they did. Like, it was bad call both ways. It was just magnified in the last couple of minutes. And if you make that call, just stick with it. I mean, like that really dictates the whole game. And LeBron, he played his ass off, and then people knock him for passing the ball, and which I don't get because it's the right play. And people could say like he should have took the shot, he should have drove. There's no way in hell he would go when you got KD and Dre. Both of them cheeks, but I mean they there, so he ain't gonna drive to the goal. And it was just the right move. I mean, theoretically, like he'll post made both them free throws, or he made the layup, and then we don't have this discussion. Like that's ball game pretty much. But then J.R. Smith, I mean, he didn't lay out the Hennessy. Like shit, that was bad. And I think that man, he done. He done in Cleveland unless he bounced back. And I think he ball out today.
He's gonna have to. Jr. needs to be 20-5 tonight. He really does.
I think that, like Pound said, for the overturned call, I wasn't that they overturned the call basically because it was a blocking foul in my opinion. But my reason that I got upset about it was because at first it was like they made it seem like they wanted to see if LeBron was in the restricted area.
Absolutely, that was a big deal about the entire call.
Yeah, in real time, you could see that he was 2 or 3 steps away from the restricted area, so you didn't need
wasn't even close.
A review on that. So I mean, was it a blocking foul? Yeah. And at the end of the day, do we want to get the right call? I understand that, and but that whole restricted area thing is what threw me for a loop. I'm just like, it's no way. So I look, like Pound said, I look for them to call the game more so in Cleveland's favor tonight, because I think that everyone that has a basketball mind knows that, well, those calls down the stretch. Also, another call that kind of swayed it, Kevin Durant, when LeBron ripped him from behind, that was clean still, and then he does that little bogus James Harden move where he flares his arms up. It wasn't even a shooting foul. If you're going to call a foul, it was on the floor. So ultimately, he gets to shoot 2 shots. I think he missed the second one, if I'm not mistaken. And that whole sequence there in the last 2 to 3 minutes, it just didn't seem right. But for as tonight, I think Justin's right. Like, JR's got to play big, It's a whole new game. He's got to let game 1 go, but he's got to get going early. I think that everyone on that team is going to be looking for him to get going early, because I don't see how you can be in the locker room with him and not feel some type of way towards him, being in that moment, because there's no way that you're going to tell me that you're a veteran in the NBA. I mean, he's a respected veteran in the NBA, the guy can play even though he is a bonehead from time to time, but you just got to know that situation. And for us to pass that LeBron made, we've been arguing about it all week, but which one would you rather have, a wide open layup or a contested 3? I mean, I know that LeBron had it going, but I mean, Klay Thompson literally had to tackle George Hill to keep him from getting a wide open layup. So he is an NBA veteran, so I do trust the fact that he can make a wide open layup. And like Justin said, if he makes those 2 free throws, then we don't look to JR or put the blame on JR. But I don't think that it's all JR's fault, from those sequence of calls to LeBron had a couple turnovers there late too that I'm not gonna give him a pass for. He had a couple turnovers that they weren't called for.
That's right.
So I'm not gonna give him a pass for that. So and then in overtime too, I know that they were pretty much shot in the foot by what happened, but so to speak. But I mean, he scored 2 points in overtime too. So I didn't think that would happen in OT. I still had hope for it, but at the same time, I did kind of understand how the whole team was to play this. So moving forward tonight, however they start out, I think that'll be the flow of the game. I don't think they can start out slow and then pick. They're going to have to come out and punch Golden State in the mouth the same way they did game 1. And hopefully, late in the games, they can get those calls and they can get those 50-50 balls and everything to go their way. So we'll see.
Kevin Love more. As the number 2 guy, he got to get more.
Yeah, I agree.
And then KD, oh man, I hate when people say he better than Kobe as a scorer. That blows my mind. Like, you can't go 9 for 29, and he been playing like shit the whole playoffs. To be honest, I mean, minus like a couple games. And people are like, KD dropped 26. He shot 9 for 29. There's nothing efficient about that.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people take the narrative. Say, well, he scored 30 points though. Okay, he took 70 shots. At some point in time, when does your percentage weigh into the amount of shots that you took to get what you have? I don't. It's just like Houston Rockets in the series before, shooting 27 3-pointers in a row and missing them all. At what point do you stop?
He got to be aggressive and go to the goal.
If it were LeBron who had the same shooting numbers, we'd still be talking about it today. That's all they would have been talking about all week.
All week long. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
He would have been crucified.
I feel like the media and us as fans, we do kind of be hard on LeBron. How we expect so much out of him, but at the same time, we got to hold KD, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Clay, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis to the same kind of standard. You know, those guys want to be considered as all-stars too. So I feel like we should hold those guys to the same standard we hold LeBron James to, because he's not the only superstar in the league. You know, and he's taking a lot of heat for what he do, but at the same time, dude is balling out of his mind. And he had his team ready for game one. I got to give it to him on that.
Steve Kerr after the game said, LeBron James is playing at a level that anybody's ever seen in these playoffs. And Steve Kerr is a coaching champion, an NBA champion. I mean, he's been around. So, I mean, his opinion should hold some kind of weight. But I agree with you, Pound. I mean, 100%. I mean, everybody should get the same respect as they get the same blame.
Yep, I agree. So, guys, moving forward, what y'all think about the late game execution between the altercation between Tristan Thompson, Draymond, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and LeBron James? You know, had a little passing words towards the end of the game. What y'all think about that?
I don't think much of it. The whole LeBron thing. I mean, that's nothing to me. But the whole Kardashian and Draymond thing, that was just bad on the ref. Like, Kardashian didn't even do nothing. And the ref teamed up and threw him out.
Yeah, the ref said from his point of view that he was looking, he thought he seen his elbow come up and try to hit what's the name in the face on the shot he took. And
that was his explanation, but his elbow wasn't even close to his face.
Yeah, as we all saw after they replayed it, they seen his elbow wasn't close. But I did kind of see where he tried to come through him, but he didn't hit him. But like the ref, he called it in the heat of the moment, pulled him out, and tempers escalated. So due to that change of the call with the block from a charge to a block, so I feel like all that played a role in it at the end. But I'm glad to see they really got suspended. Even though Kevin Love should be facing 1 game suspension because you can't come onto the floor as an altercation going on. So I'm glad to see nobody didn't get suspended and get nobody no leverage. So that's a good thing.
Still don't take away Draymond a clown.
Yeah, Draymond, I don't. I can't vibe with dude, man. Like, but I did think it was funny how him and Perk got into it or whatever. He was like dancing or whatever, saying he was a cheerleader. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny myself too. You know, it's all part of the game, man. Everybody's gonna say something to get under your skin. So
right.
And he does better than anyone.
Hey, so did y'all see the photo of Butch Jones washing Nick Saban's car?
I thought that was a joke, bro. Was that really true?
No. Yeah.
Oh my God. Man, what?
How you go from head coaching at a Power 5 school to washing somebody's car?
Hold on. Let me hit you with this story. So I understand this, and so Butch Jones' salary at Alabama is $36,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the University of Tennessee still owes him $11 million. So, you know, this was all, when all that came about, I was like, wow, how in the world he going to go from, you know, making millions of dollars until, you know, to making just being a do-boy, basically. But the entire story is that Tennessee still owes him $11 million. So what he's doing there, right. Yeah, but I mean, washing the car, I don't know. I ain't falling to that level. I'm sorry.
Nick Saban the GOAT, man.
I ain't falling to that level.
That's crazy, man.
It is. Very crazy.
That was not a joke.
If anybody gonna do it, it's Saban.
Oh yeah. When I saw it, I was like, there's got to be some kind of edited stuff. So, I really kind of just blew it off because I said, well, that's somebody that photoshopped or something. And then I kept seeing it, and I'm like, no, this must be legit. Like, what is Butch thinking about?
Trying to get him another coaching job.
I
I mean,
so.
right around like Saban get everybody jobs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
no
do.
doubt.
I mean, they don't do shit after they leave, minus like Kirby and a couple others.
Right.
But
So, has anyone watched any of the Memorial Day tournament this weekend?
no, I watch softball.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I watched a little bit of Oregon. Oregon has a really nice lineup. That's all I'll say. But anyway,
No, they lost to Florida State.
Of course, duh.
Who got a better lineup? Yeah.
That's my team. Go down there at least twice a year. But no, that's not quite what I meant by the lineup. But
I knew you were talking about them cheeks. Them cheeks was nice.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, God is good. But,
ain't better than volleyball.
No, volleyball where it's at. But yeah, you just have to see Oregon's lineup as they stand at attention for the national anthem. Yeah, but yeah, no, Tiger came out and he had a mediocre first day, played well the second and third day, and today he's struggling, but he was in contention starting today, but Bryson DeChambeau has kind of pulled away right now, so Tiger is I can't wait to see the U.S. Open and see how he plays. So.
What quick question. So, what's y'all like theory on sports? And what I mean is, soccer is like the most popular sport, but people get this misconception that it's football that's like really like where it's at. And like football players don't make the most money. Like they at the bottom of the totem pole.
Baseball players make the most guaranteed money in the United States.
If you think, I look at it kind of like from a cultural standpoint, like in the African American community, like we grew up playing basketball and football more so than baseball, and soccer really wasn't. It wasn't introduced to me, when I was growing up. I don't
Should have
know
went to West Johns.
Nah, I'm cool on that. Cool on that. But I think me and Richard Brown is someone I really respect. He owns Hair World Barbershop in Law. We were talking about it, and he said something that made a lot of sense. He said that a baseball glove can run you $300. A baseball bat can run you $300. It's a sport that it can be really, really expensive to take part in. He said before, as football and basketball, just starting out, as a youngster, all you need is one ball. You just need a football or a basketball. And we talk about it all the time, like how baseball is kind of disappearing in the city limits of Law or whatnot. And it's a shame because a lot of parents say that, it's too expensive, registration fees or equipment fees are too expensive. And speaking on theories, like I just believe that from a cultural standpoint that, like you said, football is more popular, in our culture because basically like starting out, like all we needed was a ball. We played pick it up and run it. That was what we played in the backyard. So that's just how I feel about it.
That's a very legit point.
But like I know, ain't there more like things you can do in your local community? Not you per se, but like in like local community as far as like getting kids more involved with baseball and stuff. Because a lot of kids can play baseball. It's just like you said, like the price of baseball ain't nothing cheap about baseball.
That's. I mean, I'm glad you bring up that point, and now I'm going to take that point somewhere else for myself because you make a very, very valid point. That's why it's not a lot of we'll just say African American youth in this area, Laura Waynesboro, Bay Springs, wherever you want to call it in this area, that play tennis, soccer, golf. These are all things that I play, and these are all things that I'm going to submit my kid to. I'm not going to force him to play one sport or the other. If he wants to end up in the band, that's his business. But I'm going to submit him to all these things because what people fail to realize is that if you play golf or tennis, you can go to your favorite University of Alabama, Florida, because they're looking for minority students that play these sports, and they're easy scholarships. But it's not enough of us that go out and get them because we're not submitted to these sports. And golf is there. I'll be there. I go all over the place golfing, and it's not cheap. And so I can understand that, and not everybody can afford that. Tennis is not bad expensive, but once you start traveling and getting lessons and stuff, it could be so. People always put the onus on the expense. Well, I'll tell you one of the most expensive things that a child will do in high school. That's be a cheerleader. Pal, you have a little girl. If your little girl's a cheerleader, she in probably 1 or 2 years, she'll probably spend more money than your son will in his 4 years of high school ball.
You're exactly right about that.
Don't tell me that. Cause I want my little girl to do cheerleading. That's out the window now.
It'll be out the window. That's a great experience for her. But I mean, it literally is. It's very expensive.
No, she can just do Beta Club or something like that. I just I tried tennis, man. Cause like when I was in college, I was playing ping pong, or whatever, and then I started talking to this one girl who was on the tennis team, and I was like, all right, it's the same thing, same logic apply. Hell no, that shit totally different.
Right.
Got out there and she beat my ass.
Dang.
And like you don't really get introduced to those sports until you like get into high school. If you do so, want to continue going forward to try to play that sport. And I know at West Jones, you don't find too many people, period, who play golf or whatever, or tennis. I mean, soccer, yeah, because it's like soccer big at West Jones. But, you know, a lot of the most sports, like, it's just not a common thing down there. And it's because, like, you're not introduced to it at a young age, especially in the minority community. Like, I knew nothing about golf until I was, like, 13 years old. That's when I started watching Tiger Woods. And you either grow on it or you just don't pay it no mind. Like, I never liked baseball when I was little. I couldn't stand to sit there and watch the game. But I mean, Dion, he may feel something way different about it because I mean, he grew up playing it. But I didn't like it. It was too slow. Like the pace was too slow for me. Versus watching on TV, I can just change the channel whenever I get bored with it. And I do that now when I watch the Yankees play.
Speaking of baseball, did you guys get a chance to see Roger Clemens' son playing against Texas A&M this past weekend?
No, I heard about it.
Man, that dude's special. He hit 2 home runs in a game against him, man. You can tell that's Roger's son because of his attitude. He came around third base and he was eyeing the third base dugout at Texas A&M Aggies. And man, it was legit, man. It had me ready to go cleat up and go on out there, man. But Mississippi State, they hit a walk-off home run down to that last strike to win the game. So,
why do some kids go to college instead of going to the minors off the rip?
You hear about a lot about kids going to junior college out of high school because they want an opportunity to work on their body and get drafted after their freshman year. The 4-year guys are guys that pretty much they know that, okay, 2 years from now, I will still be a high draft pick, and I want the college experience, you know. A lot of 4-year guys, when it comes down to big universities, their parents are there. You know, they have family ties there, and they want to keep that tradition going. But traditionally, if you have a kid coming out of high school that's pretty much guaranteed to go in the top 2 rounds, or so to speak, typically they don't turn down that money unless their family is very, very privileged, you know. Most guys that get drafted first round supplemental, second round, I mean, they see somewhere around $1 million. Depending on the first round you go 2, possibly 3, on up the top 5 picks, you know, they'll see 4 or 5 sometimes. So, I mean, you don't have that many guys to get drafted very, very early that turn it down and go to school. You get into rounds, I say anything above 10, get drafted out of high school above the 10th round, and you have a decision to make. Like I said, I know a lot of guys that got drafted between 15 and 20 that chose to not go to a four-year school because it's a certain amount of time you have to stay at a four-year school before you're eligible to get drafted again. They just chose the JUCO route. They worked on their bodies, worked on their game, and they came out after their freshman or sophomore year. So it just depends on the family situation, you know what I mean? So
Okay. Like I was asking because Buster Posey. I mean, he went to Florida State. That's the reason I got to pay attention to him.
yeah,
But he went to college and he the best. I would say he the best in the business position right now. And he chose to go to college.
Yeah, you have a lot of late bloomers too. You know what I mean? Some guys they come out and they're like they have the ability to be that guy, but they just haven't came into their body yet, or mentally they may not be ready to be that guy yet. I don't know if you follow Aaron Judge, like his whole process, but one scout him as like a baby giraffe, like when he first saw him. And
the man 6'7", 260.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? You look at him now, you're like, baby giraffe. Like, nah, this dude look like a DN. It just all depends on how ready you are physically and mentally. Mentally more than physically, in my opinion, because that minor league grind, it's definitely a grind, man. You got to be mentally tough.
What's different about it?
You go from high school playing, let's say, 30-game season, and let's say you play summer ball, 20 or 30 game season. So let's say you play 60 games from February until July, and then most kids football, or they go into football in the summer, but they're still playing summer baseball after football. Then you go into football season and you got downtime for football. You put baseball down. Well, minor league baseball season, you roll into spring training. You have no days off in spring training. It's about a month. You go into extended spring training, or if you go into your season will be 140 games. You may have, over the course of that 140 game schedule, you may have 8 off days. You may have 10 off days. It depends. Extended spring training goes from April all the way up until the first week of June, and you're only off on Sundays. You play games Monday through Saturday. It's not just playing games. You're waking up around 5. You're getting to the field around 5:30. You're eating your breakfast. You're going in, doing your prep work in the weight room, stretching out, getting your body worked on. Then you're on the field for early work around 6:45. And then early work rolls into team stretch. That'll be around 7:30. And you won't come off the field practice-wise until around 10:30. And then you'll have a game around 12:30 that day. You get done with your game around 3:30. You may have a workout, a lift after that game is over with. When you get back to your facility, you eat, you get back to your hotel, to your apartment, and it's dark by then, and it's time to get up and do it again the next day. So you get into your season, like I said, you go from playing a 60-game season in high school or a 45-game season in college to 140 games season with basically no off days. I mean, I remember one stretch we played 21 straight games, no off days, and I didn't get an off day from the lineup. So, I mean, that's taxing, because you don't do that in high school. So, you definitely have to be mentally and physically ready for that grind. And I know that when I came out of high school, I graduated high school when I was 17. There's no way I would have been ready for that grind mentally. I got drafted at 19, and 2 years makes a lot of difference, Even at 19, it still took me praying to the good Lord at times to just make sure that I had the strength to get out there and be able to do my best physically,
Hey, Tracy, I got a quick question. Why don't USM recruit locally?
Man, that's a good question. I find myself talking to a lot of people about this. Me personally, what I think, if they recruit you locally, you really got to be like a 5-star athlete or 4-star athlete. When Alabama and Ohio State, then they got to battle with those cats to where what kid gonna turn down Alabama or Ohio State or Michigan to come to USM once they get that big time name attached to them? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like So I feel like why these kids is on the rise and you heard about them. Like you got Wayne County, you got Law, you got West Jones, like the guy from West Jones that was on the show last. They should be all over him, man. You 25, 30 minutes max away from him. Why not going to see this guy every day? Then he get on. He telling us that he talked to Alabama every day. So now when the kid get ready to make a decision, and you put Southern Miss and Alabama on the table, you look who talked to me the most? Alabama. So he gonna go to Alabama. But I don't know. I think we need to fix that because there's a lot of talent right here in Mississippi that we let get away and go to the other schools and be a big time performer, and they can do that right here in their home state. It's just something. I think it's gonna have to come down to get some people on staff that really care about Southern Miss football or care about Ole Miss to Mississippi State football to where they can go in to these schools around this area and talk to a kid that he can relate to and get them to go to these schools around here and make a difference. And I give credit to Fedora. That's one thing about him. He didn't care where you was from. If he was good, he was coming to get you, and he made you feel like you were that top athlete. And that's one reason why I went to Southern Miss, because when that guy came and recruited me and came and sat in front of my living room, he told me, I don't care if you're a freshman or a sophomore, you come out here and show me you can play at this level, I'm playing you. And, hey, he kept his word for me, man. And I came into camp, like Dean was saying, man, it's mental more than anything, man. I know you got talent, but can you handle that grind that they're going to put you through, having during the offseason, you have practice on Sunday, series of Wednesday, Thursday. There's really no off day when you're getting ready for the season because it's a constant grind, like every day, twice a day, and you're in meetings all day long. At practice, you really don't have time for no social hour with nobody. So it's really like, man, is football really for me? Do you really want this? So once you get past that and you show the coaches, you can handle it, so you're going to play, man. And he kept his words. I do get it to him, that he was a man of his word when he came in and told you that he don't care what grade you was in, man. If you can play, he gonna play you. So I just feel like the coaches got to stop thinking that they can't get a kid that's from Mississippi and just go out and recruit, man. Like every kid you recruit, you're not gonna get them. True enough, that's fine. Like even Alabama get told no, but if you got a chance, you got a big time name that's right here in your hometown, I feel to be all over that kid.
So, can you explain Walt Bell to me?
Walt Bell?
Yeah. The OC at Florida State?
Yeah. Man, that's a guru guy, man. He can tell you anything about football. You ask him, he gonna know it. I'm talking about from back in the 60s to now. He can tell you who did what, when they did it, how they did it. And he was a young coach, back when he was my receiver coach at the time. And he knows football, man. And like I said, he comes from a good pipeline of coaches with being at Oklahoma State with Fedora and being at Southern Miss with Fedora, then going to North Carolina, then going to Arkansas State with Coach Anderson once he got the head coaching job there as a aim to be Arkansas State offensive coordinator. Then he got the big-time job at Florida State. He's a good guy, man. Very energetic, can relate to players, young and still can get out there and show players how to get stuff done. And like I say, he's just a player coach to me. Down to earth, he listens to hip hop. Just being able to relate to kids, man. And he, like I say, he knows football, man. He's a good guy. He gonna put guys in situations to make plays, and like I said, gonna be up to the guys to make the plays. But overall, man, you got you a good coach on your hand, man. Can go out and recruit. Can go into the black neighborhoods and interact like he's been there his whole life, and that says a lot about him as a man. He's not culture shock.
Okay. 15-0 national champs. That's all I heard right there.
Go Noles.
Yeah, he's a good coach, man. I like him, man. One thing about it though, when it's time for business, now he gonna mean business, man, and he gonna hold everybody accountable, no matter who you are.
That's what I like to hear.
Well, at least that's how he was when I was with him at Southern Miss, So that's what I can speak off of. So I'm pretty sure he haven't changed much, especially being at Florida State now. That he know that he got to win. he had a good school and got a chance to play for a national championship and all that. So he gonna come out and give you his all. So y'all got a good one on your hands.
Go knows.
So all I want to hear. As long as we beat everybody on the schedule, including Clemson.
Hey, it can be done, man. It's been done before, so why not?
That's right.
But for real, though, Florida State going to win that championship this year. I just want to throw that out there.
Tell me why you think that Florida State's going to contend for the national championship this year.
Because we bringing back pretty much the nucleus of the team by a couple of players, and I like the direction Will Taggart got the team going.
Oh, I love Taggart. I mean, he's actually my best friend and Willie Taggart. My best friend's old lady and Willie Taggart went to high school together. So she knows him well, and she thinks that it was like the greatest hire ever. Which she's from Quincy, which is right there at Tallahassee, and I'm sure you've heard me say I go down there a couple of times a year to games. I'm a huge Florida State fan. I mean, that's outside of Auburn. That would be my school for sure. So I think if he does anything with the offensive line, which has been our Achilles heel the last couple of years, if he can do anything with the offensive line, we'll make some noise for sure. ESPN came out with their for that possibly the 4 teams that could win the championship next year, and it was Alabama, Florida State, Ohio State, and I think Oklahoma, Georgia. I'm sorry. Said those were the 4 teams that would contend for the championship, and I know that's their way too early stuff, and it's hard to get caught up in that, but. Pretty sure they're saying it because they like what they see. So I'm definitely hoping it comes to pass.
I think we can do good. Honestly, I don't think we're going to beat Clemson because them motherfuckers loaded.
Yeah, Clemson always loaded.
And then I got Michigan winning the Big Ten this year.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting.
That's not going to happen.
I don't know what gives you that idea that ain't gonna happen.
I don't know what gives you the idea they're gonna finally get over the hump and get over us.
Shea Patterson.
He is not a lifeguard. He is not gonna save them, dog.
That's all they missing.
You know, baby man. So whenever you're ready, dog.
I'll see you in October. No, November. That's right.
Well, honestly, though, it is time for Michigan to make some noise now. You know, just off Jim Harbaugh, you know, being one of the highest paid coaches in college football, and really haven't had much success to me. So it's time for them to make some type of run for it. So I guess the time is now or never.
That defense, Harbaugh can coach some damn defense. All those missing was
Harbaugh should have stayed out there at 49ers. Oh, man, don't get me started on that.
Man, all the shit don't want Harbaugh, man.
Underachiever. He's an underachiever with Michigan.
Man, when they beat Ohio State, Deion, I'll see you in November on this. I'm trying to tell you, man, they're going to beat y'all ass.
Man, I'm not even worried about Michigan, man. Like, I'm not worried one bit.
I don't know. I hear a little fear in your voice.
None whatsoever, dog.
Everybody can have another heart attack.
He'll end up coaching at Iowa State after that.
Nah, man. Leave my guy alone, bro.
I like Urban Meyer. I like the facilities at Ohio State. They're nice. This dude got an indoor waterfall in his office. Must be nice.
Yeah, that is legit.
Yes,
Hey, you seen Clemson shit?
That's one of the places I didn't get a chance to go to. Yeah, but you know who has the number 1 rated football facilities in the United States?
Oregon, right?
God, no. Oregon like 4 or 5. University of Texas A&M.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yep, plenty of money in Texas. That's right.
They gave Jimbo $75 million guaranteed.
Yep. Guaranteed.
And they also, I didn't know this, but I found this like a couple weeks ago. His son, I forgot what it's called, but it's something like disease. things like neurofibroma or something like that, and they paying for that the rest of his life, like his treatment and stuff.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't
That's
need
why he
nothing.
left.
I still went to
Right.
LSU last year though. But that's a better job than A&M. He ain't finna in the A&M.
I agree.
Hello.
Hey, DeMarcus, this is the podcast.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm done.
Okay. All right. So our special guest today is here at Pound for Pound is going to be DeMarcus Henderson, a former baseball player at Mississippi State University, a former Wayne County War Eagle, and we're going to let him tell you a little bit about himself and recruiting and how things went with him playing baseball. DeMarcus, you have the floor.
All right. Well, as you said, my name is DeMarcus Henderson. Played high school baseball in Wayne County, and I went out to sign a scholarship at Mississippi State. And during my time at Mississippi State, I played for a College World Series. I played for SC Championship. And during my time at State, I enjoyed playing ball at Mississippi State. I enjoyed learning the game. When I first got there, I was more of an athlete. I had to learn how to play the game of baseball. It was some tough challenges there. Learning as I had to play because I had to step into some bigger roles quicker as I got there. But my recruiting process was fine. They brought me in, they sat down, they showed me the campus, and it was really well planned out. What else can I say here? My coaches were John Cohen, which is now the AD there. He sat me down and taught me the game. But along with my recruiting process, Lane Burroughs was the guy that recruited me. When they brought me in, they took me out to dinner. They sat me down and told me basically what my roles were going to be. And the schools were great. The academic advisors always took care of our classes to make sure we're on top of our grades, make sure we're on time to class. And that's basically about it when it came to playing ball at Mississippi State. I enjoyed my experience there.
So how did you really get into playing baseball?
Well, I started playing baseball. Actually, I started with my church group at Pineville when I was about 5 years old. It was with my mom and Miss Terry Abrams. And from there, when I first started playing baseball, I was not the greatest player in the world, but with me being me, like I was eager to figure out the game because I was always athletic and loved to play the game. But from there, I think I started to travel ball by the time I was 8, 9. I was never at home for the summer. I was always on the road playing baseball. From there, we went from Dixie Youth tournaments. I played with Mississippi Prospects, and along with playing Mississippi Prospects, that's when I started my recruiting process. After a game, I would have different coaches come up to me and talk to me and ask me, what were my plans after high school, and what did I see myself either going in the draft or going to college ball. And that's I chose college ball because I didn't think I was ready for pro ball.
And during your time in high school, you also played quarterback for the Warriors. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
tell us which Jones County team was your favorite team to beat. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Well, I start out saying, West Jones and Laurel were two of my favorite teams to play. But growing up, it was always West Jones on my end. But playing high school football, I grew up, watching, Akeem Lofton and Drexler. So those are guys that, I modeled my game after. And high school football in Wayne County was big. It still is big. We always wanted to compete, just like the older guys did. So, football was everything to us. Actually, like my junior, senior year, I almost didn't play because of the fact I had baseball on my mind. But the coaches they taught me out of that. I'm glad they taught me out of that because I enjoyed my time playing.
Right. Dion, Tracy?
Hey, DeMar, it's Justin. Hey, quick question. This is Justin. So, what school out of West Jones and Laurel, why do you like playing those two the most?
Can you say it again? Couldn't hear you.
I say out of West Jones and Laurel, why do you enjoy playing those two schools the most?
I was a big rival. Every time you stepped on the field against Laurel and West Jones, you knew you had to come with your best because they was going to be gunning for you. Neither one of us really liked each other as far as on the field, so both of us had really good teams. But I think out of the best, the team I loved to play with most was West Jones because it was always going to be competitive. The crowd was going to be big, and you had to come with your A game.
Yeah, we don't like y'all either.
Anyone else? Any questions for Mr. Henderson?
Hey, DeMarcus, this is Pine, man. What's up?
What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Man, I had the privilege of playing with DeMarcus in high school. DeMarcus really opened up our offense a little bit
How'd that
more
go?
my senior year because you had me and Kevin McDougal, then you had DeMarcus come in and play quarterback, and you had the flexibility to move Kevin to the slot and move myself to the slot, and gave us another dynamic to our offense. And DeMarcus came in and did a good job. I can remember one game in particular against Meridian. We was at home, and the first play of the game was like a vertical play. And I told DeMarcus, "Hey man, I don't care who you throw it to, but you better throw it to me on this one because I gotta have this game." And he bust out laughing. And he said, "I got you." So in the first play of the game, he actually threw it to me, and we scored a touchdown. And man, that was some excitement, man, and that really got DeMarcus going as a quarterback right there, man. And that guy came in and showed us that he belonged on the field, and Coach Boyles and them saw that, man, and that opened up our offense a little bit more, man. So DeMarcus, my question is, man, what made you not want to play high school football again towards your 11th, 12th grade year?
Well, going into that, the scouts coming in talking about, my chances are going really high in the draft.
Right.
And,
right.
I had a lot of people in my ear saying, you don't need to be football and doing this, or you might get hurt. But at the same time, after I, went in the office and talked to Coach Boy, he was like, man, you can get hurt doing anything. And I was like, you're right. And then, I enjoyed competing with, you and Kevin and basically everybody. Because, growing up in junior high, that's all we used to do. I went to Clare, you went to Waynesboro, then you had Buckatona. We always like to compete against each other. I remember going up to the park, and we would always, okay, I'm from here, you from there. But we're trying to bring, the best out of each other. So,
right.
Being in that situation, man, that made me say, oh, okay, I want to compete with these guys. I grew up with these guys, so I'm not going to quit. I just get hurt. It just wasn't meant for me.
Exactly. So, talk to us a little bit about what you do after you left Mississippi State.
After leaving Mississippi State, I joined. I ended up signing a free agent deal with St. Louis Cardinals, and I ended up getting hurt. So what they did was they sent me to Indy Ball because they still wanted to see me play, and they wanted to see, how well I would adapt to, their shoulder surgery. So I went out and I played good, and I was kind of finding my footing again as far as playing ball. I was kind of finding my stride playing in an everyday role, and it just so happened that I went in and slid into a bag, and the guy jumped up, and when he came down, he put his spike into my shoulder, and then I jammed my shoulder up going, and they tried to get me. They gave me about 2 or 3 months to try to get my arm back going, but unfortunately, I couldn't get it going.
I hate that, man. Injuries, even though injuries part of the game, man, but you never want to see somebody's career come to an end due to injuries, man. So, man, I enjoy watching you play football and baseball, man, and watching you grow up. It was something for me to see, man. For all of us, to come through that program and to go to where we at now, there's nothing but success, man. Even though that we didn't play pro ball like along we wanted to, but it was a successful young man. Both of us have kids and all that, so that's the ultimate success we can ever have, man. And giving back to our kids what our parents gave to us, man. So I wish you well in whatever you do moving forward, man.
I appreciate it, man. I wish you well in your coaching adventures.
Yes, sir, man. I sure appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, DeMarcus? Dion. We played against each other in high school and stuff, and I always respected you as a player. You're just a little bit older than me. You were one of the guys in the area that I grew up, recognizing that, that guy, he's got it figured out. He's got a lot of positive things going. So one of the things that I always wanted to talk to you about was your experience playing in Omaha. That was something that I think all kids growing up that play baseball, they want to experience the College World Series. I always wanted to ask you, just take me through how that experience went for you, playing for a College World Series.
Growing up as a kid, you play baseball during the summer. It's either watch the Little League World Series or you watching the College World Series. So for me, ultimately, getting there and getting the experience I ain't gonna say it was an eye opener because I always get in the backyard and imagine myself, being at the plate in the College World Series. But just being in the atmosphere, you seeing different I guess I want to say different cultures come and watch you, and it was crazy for me, because I never really got nervous. I ain't gonna say I never. I think I was nervous for every game until that first snap or that first pitch. But I never forget, I had to call timeout and step out the box because I was just overly excited, and I had to kind of zone back in and say, all right, man, you playing ball. It's something you used to dream about, you used to see yourself doing it. So okay, let's step in the box and let's do this. But walking around downtown Omaha was crazy. You never could walk around. I mean, you walk around in one restaurant, people knew you, so they was like, okay, this guy was playing on TV. You rushed by a million kids just to get your autograph, and you like, for my autograph, well, I'm just a normal person, but to them, they're looking at you as a role model because they watch, national TV. I mean, the experience was unreal, man. I mean, that's something that you dream about as a kid, and I can't even put into words what that experience meant to me.
Most definitely. Who was the best pitcher that you faced at the College World Series?
I can't remember his name, but the best guy. I really don't say those guys were the best I faced. Some of the best pitchers I faced was probably Aaron Nola from LSU, and I think he was in the College World Series at that time. But the best pitcher by far was the Friday night guy from UCLA. I can't remember his name though. But he was probably one of the best guys there.
Okay.
I think the best overall guy I ever faced was Sonny Gray from Vanderbilt. He was about 98, 99 with an 89 mile an hour slider. I mean, ain't too much you can do with that at the plate.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he was special. He was special. Well, man, hey, I definitely appreciate you sharing that experience, and I wish you the best of luck with everything that you got moving forward, man.
I appreciate it, man.
DeMarcus, we appreciate you chiming in on the podcast today. We'll definitely be talking to you. Wish you well, and we'll chat with you later.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, guys.
All right, man. Have a blessed one.
All right.
You too.
That's a great story.
Absolutely.
So, what's y'all predictions for the game tonight?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my cousin walked in, slammed the door. I apologize. I'll start it off. I'll say that if what happened at the end of the game last week stays in Cleveland's head, they're going to get blown out. But if they'll come out with the same aggressiveness that they played last week with what we talked about at the start of the show, with the referees really hammering down on calls, then it'll be a different ball game, and Cleveland will win tonight. That's my prediction.
I don't see Cleveland bouncing back from that tonight. I think LeBron goes out and he has a good game. It's not going to be a 51-point game, but I would be surprised if they come out and play at the level they played Thursday. That's the best they played all postseason, in my opinion. And I think that it's going to take an effort from 2-0 down to make this series go past 5. I think KD will come out tonight and play the way he's capable of playing. I mean, he's definitely due for it. I just don't see LeBron going for another 51-point effort. I see him somewhere around 35, 10, and 7, somewhere up in there. And it may be close early on, but I think later on in the game, Golden State will pull away with it. But I do see them getting at least one in Cleveland. I don't see them getting swept. But I think that game 1, the way that ended, I think that's going to take a mental toll on them tonight.
Well, my intake on the game is, man, I get advantage to the Warriors. Since they're at home, they Crowd can get behind them. They can get going at any moment. But if Klay Thompson does not play and the game be close, I think the Cavs have a player that nobody on the floor can stop. When that man going to the basket and the game 1 kind of showed that, that guy came had a 51 points performance, man, and actually they should have won that game. But like I said, a couple calls, did not go in their favor. But if they can come out, put that call behind them, let it go, come out and play, and still won, and they'll be right back where they want to be, going home. And so, with that being said, if they can't overcome that and put that play behind them, like you all said, man, I expect them to get blew out. But if they can put that play behind them and come out and play, keep the game close like they did, control the pace of the game, and LeBron come out and be LeBron, and then get some other guys in position that can score the basketball along with him, I can see the Cavs winning this game tonight. But if not, I can get an edge to the Warriors. Yes, and I do expect Kevin Durant to come out and be a different type of player for tonight's game. Look for him to go for about 35 or better tonight. And I look for Draymond Green to come out with a little bit more aggression to his game as well, too.
If KD brushes his hair, he'll go for 35. Other than that, I don't expect much from him. You could tell game one, that took a lot out of LeBron. Like, he knew they had game one.
Yes.
You saw the way he walked through with his purse.
Yeah.
Like you know, like they had, that was the one they needed.
Yeah.
They got a chance in game. Yeah, and they got a chance in game two, but you got it coming. Like that little light skinned motherfucker coming. Cause he know that game one hurt them. And he know that they gonna be in the slumps. I mean, you just like that, and then just like bounce back. And Steph about taking it to you, and he gonna come out with it. It's just they gotta withstand it. And if LeBron, his like role players can come out and contribute early, and set them up for like a good close fourth quarter, then they got a good shot.
Right.
But they got to do better, especially coming out of halftime. But I mean, that's just the Warriors' MO. Like coming out of halftime, the Warriors they take it to everybody.
Everybody.
But if they can keep it close at half and then withstand the third quarter, they got a chance. Especially if Klay don't play.
I agree with that.
But I got the Cavs winning 7 though, so I mean I got to stick with it. But I had them winning in game one. I mean,
yeah, you did. You told them the last show, man, and I went against you.
From me.
I went against you, man, but I see why now. LeBron, like I say, LeBron had them guys ready for game one, man, and I'm just ready to see how they come out for game two, man. See, can they bounce back from it, man? It's all about how you bounce back.
I'm telling you, man, JR finna come out and play. He's gonna come out and play. He ain't got no choice.
He needs to play for his life.
Like I feel like he gonna come out, he gonna play. Like maybe like that's what he needed probably to just refocus.
Correct.
But I don't know. I think they win tonight. I think they win. It ain't gonna be easy.
Not gonna be easy.
But I think they win.